All right, starting the stream. Starting the kick stream. Music is on. And engaging the world. All right. I gotta adjust the mic really quick. Hang on. There we go. I'm just not happy with it. Where it is. All right. Hello. Hello there, and welcome back to another stream of Space Engineers. I'm on a Space Engineers bend right now. Lately. I am on a... My new fixation right now is build ship. It's coming along, slowly, but surely. I've been doing a lot of research over the week. There we go. Alright, so this is a nondescript warship, because currently, right now, it's pending. Currently, I'm just adding on as I go. Alright, so this is the aft section. I don't know what I want to do with this ship. Sorry about that. So the ship, I want it to be some form of warship. I mean, obviously. Hang on, I'm just laying things out. Alright, so for the aft, I think I'll start on adding the internal engine section. Is this heavier? Yes, it is. Alright. I want to change this to that. There. I'm gonna add double armor. For the edges, at least. Start with the edges and work your way around. Actually, no. There's really not much commentary. Well, no, I'm going to try and do commentary. I'm just thinking out loud as I go. So with the majority of the internals done, I'm just blotting out like conveyor sections and tubes and various other components. There. Because I want this thing to be really tough to kill. And also the game is already... It seems like the game is already feeling the impact already. I don't care. I could take the performance hit. Here, let's... Light armor layers. There we go. Unorthodox orthodoxy. Because I like heavy armor personally. It's great. Ooh. That's gonna be a problem. I'm gonna redo this. Hang on. I have a bit of a kerfuzzle here. Oops. Here, let's just delete these to see which one's still in light armor. Oh dear. You know what? Let's just gut it all, and replace it. Because one of my biggest issues when it came to building ships was I could build the shell. Like I was talking about this in a previous stream of how I could build the shell and make it look good. But the problem with that is it's just the shell. There's no internal components or anything. So when you, like, it's really easy to add internal components to your ship. It's just a matter of, like, plopping down reactors here, reactor there, fuel tanks, containers, all that schnaz. But at the end of the day, you still got a whole bunch of wasted space. And I guess that isn't bad. Like, if you want to talk the meta of space engineers, from what I've discovered, people don't like building ships that I kind of make, as in heavily armored tanks that could eat rounds. They don't like that because, reasonably, when your ship is really big and heavily armored, you're very big and very heavy and very slow. So you're an easy target to get picked apart, and in the meta, people seem to like to build fast, maneuverable, and agile ships with just enough armor to protect critical systems from glancing shots. Which makes perfect sense. However, I don't like that orthodoxy. I like big chungus armor. So I ignore that and just do my own thing. So I'm building a ship with big chungus armor. And this all may seem excessive, and it is, but that's how I like to build my ships. My past ships have been, let's just say, less efficient in terms of the design process. It's much more quicker because I built the shell and then just slapped as much internal components and interior as I could, but the problem with that was that run into, I would say, roadblocks and inefficiencies. But what can you do? This approach is more just start with one room, which was the reactor, and just build your way up. And that's what I'm doing. I'm building it up, layer by layer. It's like how they make candles or jawbreakers. They just keep adding layers upon layers of wax or sugar. I'm adding mixtures of light and heavy because I don't know what I'm doing. You know what? Heavy that armor. I'm winging it. This is a let's wing it ship. And this will be the only access point for the engine room. Now, there are going to be external engine clusters. Like good old-fashioned, run-of-the-mill sci-fi ship. But those aren't going to be the main engines. The main engines on this ship will be internalized. Because apparently, the max distance for thruster damage is 7 blocks. So, what I'm going to do is 7 blocks total of thrusters. Alright, so this is the roof, sort of say. It's going to be all heavy armor for this area. 100% heavy armor. Well, here, before I work on that, because I want to make sure that it's like a nice, good shape. So right now, this is just the top section. I think the bottom section will be a dedicated hangar space. Maybe. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of potential with this bottom. I mean, I could just leave it flat and just slap a whole ton of armor on the bottom. But right now, I am all over the place, and I have no singular, lateral direction. There must be a way for me to check here before I do anything else. I want to see if I could check the health of the gyroscopes. All right, let's check it. And then, what, like, I probably could just look it up, and it'll be much more easier. Hang on. Prototech gyroscopes. Welcome to the stream. Here, gyroscopes. Health pool. Large block health pools. Light armor 2500, heavy armor 100. No, it's 16,000. All right. Dark corner. Well. So I saw somewhere that someone said that the more resources that an item consumes increases the health of that said item. So maybe... Ooh. Whoa. Oh, it's because it's probably animated. Oh no. That's not good. The frames, the performance impact. Ah, that's so much better. Okay, I'm going to use those blocks in particular sparingly because apparently that will just tank the performance. Ah, look at that. See, much better. The corners would be very vulnerable. You know, I think I'll just fill the corners, maybe. I don't know. But I don't like it being made out of light armor. Redoing it. It's going to be heavy armor corners in and out. Make it look nice and pretty for the little lass. Oh. Oops. That was a support bar and I deleted it. My bad. External hull will be heavy armor. Internal hull will be light armor. There we go. Now let's redo the corners. This is all excessive, and that's the whole point. It's impractical, excessive, over the top, and that's how I like it. It's fun. And funny. Okay, let me see about removing this panel here. Because, at some point, I want to conduct a damage control test. Yeah, I'll remove it. I'm planning on doing a damage control test once I get a good amount of hull section complete. So that way I can see how the ship fares when brain calculating and formulating word sentences failure. I want to see how the ship performs in terms of soaking up damage. If it can't hold up to lots of railgun shots, then that's going to be a problem. Because, let's be honest, this ship is not going to be able to do those funny dodge rolls that people do in meta PvP or whatever. And this isn't really intended for meta PvP. This ship's purpose is just to be a cool spaceship. That's all it is. Alright. Gyro skips on the top. Skips. Because this midsection, the thickest section, is a cross section of what it's going to look like. And then there's going to be thick, heavy corners. So I'm thinking... Because, in a way, because me adding more and more layers onto this ship, it's going to make it chunky. Very, very chunky. But it's going to give me a good excuse to pad out the length. Because, here's the good thing when it comes to, like, ground tanks. Like, tanks on the ground, armored vehicles, there is a ratio. The golden ratio is, I think is what it's called, or something like that, where there is this golden ratio for a tank when in terms of length versus width. if your tank is too short, it's not stable or something like that. I don't know. Essentially, it affects the stability and maneuverability of your tank. All right, so here we go. Just slap those pieces on. All right, we got a total of 4 and then 4. It's a total of 8 layers of heavy armor. Why? Because we can. And because I will make it work somehow. Now I need to figure out how to connect this to that. We'll figure it out. I'll do a lot of digging around and cutting up and mixing and matching and this and that. So here, let's do the same thing we did with that, with this. Because this ship will need a lot of gyroscopes. And if this, it puts a smile on my face. If gyroscopes are used as armor with a lot of the silly builds that people make, if you can use gyroscopes as armor, it gives me a great excuse to just pad out the gyroscopes on this thing. It's like just really lay on the gyroscopes. The game's not happy. But I built worse ships with worse performance, so. And so, here, let me take a look at it from the external. So that's the completed armor thickness there for the sides and for the top. That is pretty good. I'm satisfied with that. Because theoretically, it's going to be a butt ton of armor to drill through on the angled corners. So, it'll be more appealing to shoot from top to the sides. But you got the layers of gyroscopes. Plus, the space between are going to be angled are going to be slopes armor, so it's going to be like spaced armor. And apparently slopes and inverted slopes like to eat rounds. I don't know. Alright, so there's going to be the engine room. So here we're going to have a Prototech jump drive. Here, hang on. Oops. And I do want to put some corridors that connect to the outer, to some areas of the outer hull, so that it gives the impression that there's interior here and there, when it's just faux, what do you call it? It's fake. And also it gives the crew areas to go to check outside. Here we go. Got the doors. That's gonna be heavy armor for the backside. My game's slowing down. It's very unhappy right now. Oops. That was not medicine. Alright, here we go. Flat, just to give an idea where the floor is. And an idea where the roof is. Here we go. Now we got a good measuring area. So, let's see. Prototech jump drive. We'll make it 4 long. 4 long and... Ooh, these thrusters. Ooh, they're adequately sized. What is the max damage range on these things? Ooh. That is delightful. I'm gonna put the thing right there. And right now we're just building it fancy. Oh. Dang. You know, I wish you could tunnel, like crawl through these conveyor tubes. Hello, welcome. SR-71 and No Man's Sky, and I'm jealous you can rotate components on 3. Yeah. I've tried the No Man's Sky shipbuilding, and it's not bad. But I have messed with better. The one thing I will say is the thing that I don't like about Space Engineers is the fact that you cannot split blocks and items into each other. It's so annoying. Oh, it is way better than Starfield. That was one of the only things that kept me playing Starfield was the shipbuilding. And man, I don't know what Bethesda thought they were doing. Like literally, like I don't like ragging on. Ooh, that was a mistake. Yeah, that was a mistake. Oops. I don't like ragging on. Well, it sounds like I'm just hating on a game, but I'm just really critical. Like with Starfield, they dropped the ball because. I guess not there. But there, I guess. No, but yeah, so, the thing I just really don't like when it comes to the gaming industry in general is they bloat these games so much with the budget, but then they don't deliver on what they finance, and it's just very disappointing. Like, I honestly, I had fun. I think that this had tried and failed to add Skyrim to No Man's Sky. Yeah. They fell on their face, flat on their face. Unfortunately. Because I honestly did have fun playing Starfield. Like, it wasn't terrible. Ish. Kinda. It was fun until you ran out of stuff to do. And the shipbuilding was the only thing that really kept me playing the game. Trying to unlock all the different components and then build the funny ship and whatnot. But the ship sizes were annoying to deal with. Like, oh, your ship is too big, or this, that, or too many components. It's like, man, just let me build what I want. Alright. There we go. Because this is what I will say with Starfield's failure. I want it to be a learning experience for Bethesda so that they don't do that kind of nonsense again. But that's too much of a expectation to have for a large gaming studio. Let you build an inner framework and then stick to whatever you want outside through the regular building. Yeah, it's really nice. I wish more games did that. I could do this to route the conveyor. That I can put some interior blocks. These are control rooms. Oh, here. Oh, don't let go of the left click there. Now let go. That's the inner framework that tends to be the problem. Ah. I mean, honestly, I could definitely see there being problems with the build system, but I will say that I kind of don't mind those problems, only because I've dealt with worse, and also No Man's Sky isn't really oops. They weren't known for having custom buildable ships, and them just even adding that feature in the first place. I'm surprised that that feature, the mechanic alone, works as good as it does. It's so nice. Like, I'll take it. No question. Because, you know, that's one funny thing that I find with that whole situation with No Man's Sky is, ever since they got that update, Elite Dangerous players are like, hey, Frontier, ship and carriers when? Question mark? When? Very funny. Now, do I? No. Can you do any tricks? No. I can. That was a funny video. There we go. I'm sticking to a simple yet effective design language. Oh, here, that works. No, it didn't. I'm sure it was too difficult to implement since every ship procedure generate anyway. Designed to be mixed and match. Yeah, honestly, I like that they left the ships that exist in the game in No Man's Sky alone. I like that they left those ships alone. I mean, honestly, they're single-seaters. You get in and out through a cockpit. That makes sense. I like that they left that alone and added a new class of ship that you can unlock and build. Because one, it gives you another thing to work towards, and two, it's just fun collecting all the bits. Have your armor there. And with Elite Dangerous, that's a different story. Because this is the funny thing that I find with Elite Dangerous and Frontier Gaming is that they made a claim saying that ship interiors, because this was around when Star System was getting pretty popular and stuff too. They made a statement saying that ship interiors doesn't really add anything to the gameplay or any gameplay value. And I mean, a little bit of a controversial statement right there, because people were left and right pointing towards Star System saying, hey, they are doing it and they don't seem to have a big issue with it, and people seem to really like the ship interiors. But I mean, Elite Dangerous can do their thing and other games could do their thing. But it would be very nice if Elite Dangerous did ship interiors. It would work. It would work so well. At least I think it would work well. But that's just me. Alright, I don't like the look of that. I'm gonna make it blend smoothly into it. I'm so glad they added these corner blocks. In a game about exploration, having your ship be a mobile home. Yeah, it does. That's one reason why I love Star Citizen so much. The game is controversial, yeah, here and there, but, I mean, I like it. I mean, currently, I haven't been really inclined to playing it right now, because CIG doing their typical thing of, let's release an update without actually testing anything. Oh no, it broke everything, and, well, everything that I personally care about is broken. Well, everything I don't really care about is working, so it's like, nah, I'm not really going to play it this time. I'm just going to wait for the next update and see where it goes. But hey, that's Star Citizen for you. This is excessive. But I do love that they do the ship interiors. Here we go. Oh dear, that's not a lot of space. And I wasted so much space. Well, here, let's see how it looks. This would be like an auxiliary power plant. I guess. The Anniversary Edition update bricked a lot of things. Yeah. Oh, for what? Skyrim or No Man's Sky? Also, there might be there probably is a significant delay with my stream. Like me responding to comments here and there. Oh, Fallout 4. Oh, yeah. Oh, so that's what all that drama was about. Okay. Man, Bethesda just can't catch a break. As in, they just can't give themselves a break. They do all these things. It doesn't play out in their favor. They make these mistakes, but yet they never learn from them. And they don't want people to be angry at them at the same time. So that's what that drama was about. I mean, it doesn't surprise me that it bricked a lot of things. Every time they release an update for Fallout 4, it just tanks and bricks a whole bunch of mods. Especially Script Extender. Like one of the most important mods to have for a modded Fallout experience. It's like, Bethesda, why don't you learn? It's not like your player base, your fans, are yelling at you because they hate you. They're yelling at you because they care and they want you to do better. I mean, of course, there's going to be a significant portion that just hates them to hate them, but their break, at least right now, is Fallout 76. Yeah. That's the hilarious thing with Bethesda. Hang on. The only fun, recent Bethesda game is Fallout 76. And that game was a total disaster on its release. And for a good few, like, year or two. Like, the game was trash. But the devs stuck with it. And I like that. They stuck with it. They continued to try and make it better. They made it better. And it's fun. Now, if only Bethesda can take a note from that. I love the Halo soundtrack. It's so good. But yeah, like, I like Bethesda. Like, I will dunk on them a lot, but only because I care. And it's because I care is why I'm willing to criticize them very critically. Like, you have to criticize things. If a gaming company, like, let's say, Bungie, is doing something very, very dumb, call them out on it. Same thing with, like, Star Citizen. Call them out on it. Be critical. Don't be just like, oh, I'm gonna hate on them because that's what's cool right now. No, you gotta be constructive. Because the whole purpose of being critical about something is so that that criticism can make it better later. But it's the internet, so what can you do? It kind of gets lost in the noise. Criticism falls into the situation of, oh, that's light. Oops. I'm doing heavy armor for this back area. I don't understand why their single-player games are buggy, cash grab, free disc. It's because Bethesda isn't really running Fallout 76 to my knowledge. Like, it's a different studio that's running it. I can't remember the specific details, but the reason why it seems that way, this is just my assumption, but the reason why Bethesda's single-player games are terrible is because, well, they're not building them like they... And paid cosmetics can be earned for free. Yes, I love that. The problem with Bethesda is that they lost their Bethesda magic. They don't care anymore about delivering on the sandbox, open world, exploration, single player games that they used to be known for. They don't care about it no more. They lost that touch. They're not what they used to be. Like Bungie, for example. I don't know. I don't know the situation with Bethesda, because Bungie's a different story, I guess. I think that they just had bad leadership, and they are just terribly misguided, because they're just really dropping the ball. All right. Can I? Ooh, yes I can. Oh, no I can't. It's not connected. How do I want to do this? Oh. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, but that leaves a lot of... Oh, wait, no. Put it up here. Because I'm going to add a row of engines that go all the way this way. I've heard Todd Howard might get fired. Microsoft is unhappy with Bethesda. Yeah. Just look how long ago they announced Elder Scrolls 6. It's been like 5 years. Yeah, it's... If you don't perform, you will get replaced. That's just how it goes. And they were not performing. 6. Okay. Oh, the destruction range is 7. I'll just... Wait, no, it is at 7. Was it 2 block? No, it's 1 block. Is this in the center? Because we all knew they could have... I am just so flabbergasted, honestly, with Bethesda. They used to be good, but not so much anymore. Ooh, daughter. This is the thing. When you make a mistake, you learn from the mistake. You don't double down from it. And this is the problem with the gaming industry in general, is that they make mistakes, but they don't learn from them. They just double down. They keep throwing more money at the problem. That's what you don't want to do. Because the whole point is, like, do better. Make a better game. But the game, I guess that has lost to translation or something. Oh, boy. No, that could work. And then just connect this. I'm just gonna do conveyors. Just rows upon rows of thrusters. Because like with Starfield, they could have kept with it. Or not kept with it, but they could have done better. Literally, they really could have done better. It's just, they made too many bad decisions. Oh. Oops. I'll just fix that really quick. Just add the row of blocks. 7. How's this? 7. Oh, wait. Yeah, it's 7. So, slap this there. And slap that. Probably going to need 2 more H2 tanks for all those rows of thrust. Oh, don't worry. I got hydrogen tanks everywhere in this thing. And it's not done yet. There's going to be way more later on. I'm building this like a jawbreaker. It's layers upon layers. I'm adding each layers. I don't know what Triple Studios are doing. Most of them are total duds. I've been playing mostly. Okay, so here's the thing with AAA games. They're not about making good games. They are a corporate industry. Their top priority, their main priority, essentially their only focus is to make money. Building and producing a genuinely good game, like what companies used to do, is not on the agenda. They will... you can disagree with me all you want. That's perfectly fine, because, I mean, it's just my personal observation and opinion. And they'll most likely disagree with me vehemently. But that still doesn't make it not true. And the reason why is because it's the writing's on the wall. It's not like an unknown thing. They only care about the money. Making fun games that are good and actually worthwhile making, don't make them the money that they would want, because it's easier and cheaper to basically, it's easier and cheaper to make a not so good game, essentially a game that's bare bones and just add stuff to, essentially think of the live service model that all these AAA studios are just obsessing over right now. They want live service. I mean, heck, that's the main reason why Sony bought Bungie, was because they wanted to get into that live service market, because they thought Bungie would give them that revenue. So they bought Bungie, so they could tap into that live service model. But apparently it's not working out so well, and they're losing butt tons, and they're very unhappy. But anyways, video gaming, when corporatized, just loses what makes the video game special. Because all they care about are the numbers. Like, I'm trying to think of examples, but my brain's just not working right. It's not able to keep up with my mouth. Because I'm just going based off of, like, past observations. Every time I've seen any of these studios get eaten up, bought out, or absorbed, eaten up, by a AAA studio, or big publisher, they become more corporate, and they just lose that thing that makes them special. Or they just disappear entirely into the beast. Like, Bungie is a good example. Bungie lost what made Bungie Bungie, and the only person left in Bungie was the Microsoft corporate guy, and he ran Bungie to the ground. But what can you do, I guess? No, but yeah. They want more live service games because you could add more post-release microtransactions and all this other stuff. Like, Starfield, for some reason, has the... what is it called? Yep, line it, go up. Yeah. Line go up. Above all else, yeah. It is, yeah. You lose the art in the practice of business. Art and business don't really go well together. They don't mix. It's like mixing water and oil. The only way you'll get those to mix if you shook it up really, really well. But even then, it's still not well mixed. It's just mixed enough to where you can hardly see the oil bubbles or whatever. Because video games as a business can work, but the problem is video games take a lot of time and money. And that is something that a lot of these companies don't like spending, is time and money. So they want to go for easier, cheaper options. You always see this happen all the time. This is why we always get the same games over and over and over again. I mean, it's a similar mantra to, like, just media in general. There's no creativity or originality anymore, because as a business model, it is generally safer to just rehash and re-release what already exists, instead of basically shooting in the dark and taking a creative gamble. Or, yeah, a creative gamble. Oh dear. Why not? Yeah, here we go. Boop. Oh no, I deleted the wrong thing. Oops. Because business is not good for creativity. Like, here, I'll use Star System. Like, so breaking away from corp capitalism greed. It is, in a way, greed, but it is also, what's it called? There has to be a duality for it to work. That's the whole point. There needs to be a duality of both art and corporate to exist for a good game company to succeed. Because if you... Here, I'll use Star System for example. A game company that's doing all the wrong things, yet still managing to get by. Anyways, they focus way too much on the art and the... I don't know how you want to put it. Essentially, without the rigidness of a publisher or essentially someone to hold them accountable for their, like, delivery quotas or whatever, they can basically do whatever they want. And it's in a mess that it is in now because they just don't know what they're doing. But there's a duality, and I wouldn't really blame capitalism. It's the loss of the free market. I'm trying to think. It's not because of capitalism, and it's not because of the loss of the free market. It's because of poor execution. It's poor execution and business practice. Because, okay, got rid of it. Every single time these companies do anything, not do anything. Like I said earlier, before we got on this topic, when you make mistakes, you learn from those mistakes and you do better. You try to improve and learn from them. These companies, when they make mistakes, they don't learn from them and they double down. Because admitting that you made a mistake damages your PR. It damages your look. Perception is everything. And they want to make sure that their numbers are good because they are in the business of games. And also they are a business that want to eventually sell off and make a butt ton of money in the end later. But it just doesn't work out that way. And the reason why I say it's execution is because the way they're conducting the business is not efficient nor ideal. It's a very inefficient business model that the gaming industry has adopted, where it's maximum burn and maximum financial squeeze, how much money they could squeeze out of a game without giving too much thought of the repercussions. That's why it always comes off as greedy and just bad or whatever. And with the lack of any admittance of fault or lack of what's it called? What is the word? Responsibility? No, it's the word that describes that accountability. There it is. The lack of accountability and the lack of learning from their mistakes is leading to this inefficient and unstable bubble that they've trapped themselves in. And it is collapsing. Because here, a little bit of proof of that is Bungie. Bungie is a really good example. It's not fair to point to Bungie, but I am going to use Bungie regardless because, man, did they drop the ball. So, as I mentioned earlier, Sony bought Bungie because they wanted to tap in to the live service market. They wanted to adopt live service and adopt it into their business practice. And they thought Bungie would be a great studio to execute that. So they bought them out. But because Bungie's making all these dumb decisions, mistakes, and is just super greedy, it's blowing up in their face. And Destiny is at an all-time low in player count. And that's not good. And Sony is noticing, and they are very, very unhappy. And just recently they stated that Bungie is a financial impairment or loss or something like that, which is really not good for Bungie. And yeah, like, there is an accountability, there is a amount of greed that leads to this problem, but it doesn't have to be that way. A lot of game companies can see success in their just doing their thing, but the problem is they just don't for some reason. They choose they make all the wrong decisions and think, oh, it's perfect, it's good. Super good. Are you basing your worship on anything or just running with the design? I'm just running with the design. I want to really be buying smaller company doesn't buy loyalty. Yeah, exactly. Just because you bought them out doesn't mean you're going to retain the loyalty. And plus, Bungie was already on a, let's just say, rocky footing at that point as well, too, because people were not happy with them. But, yeah. No, but yeah, with this ship, it's, I would say more like a jawbreaker. Or a candle. You're adding layers and layers of just winging it. And right now, I'm just doing some internal thrusters to basically serve as, like, backup engines. So you're seeing the guts before I lay everything else out. Drinking water. No, but yeah. That's just the funny thing. Because, personally, I'm a person... When you make... Yeah, like I said, if you make a mistake, learn from it and do better. But they don't, for some reason. And it's just funny to see it blow up in their face. And you know what? It just gives indie games a better chance to succeed because everyone is getting fed up with all this nonsense, the big studio nonsense, and like, you know, we'll play different games. And look, AAA is failing and indie games are succeeding, and I am for it. I love it. Also, just because you like a brand doesn't mean you should pledge loyalty to a brand. That's a completely different can of worms. Alright, so I'm curious to see how this ship is going to turn out. 7. I wonder if this will be a sufficient amount of thrusters. I could do a thrust test. Hang on, I'll need to slap on some retro thrusters just to make sure I don't I don't drift off forever. Here, let's add a quick little cockpit and do a quick acceleration test based off of what we have right now. Ooh, that's terrible acceleration. But you know what? It's okay. Because it's not done. Oh, the diesel... Well, I mean, I didn't put enough, but the deceleration is funny. Yeah, I mean... With my plans with this ship, there's going to be a lot of armor in the front. So if I can't stop the ship in time, just plow through. There's enough heavy armor to basically soak up the damage. Alright, what broke off? Huh. So, am I missing some reactors, question mark? Ooh, I am. Oops. Well, that's unfortunate. That's no problem. I'll just replace them. There. And I guess to prevent them from... Here. Do-do-do. I want to basically just... There we go. It loaded. This strut will hopefully hold the the reactor is in. And all I have to do is just put that there. There we go. I want to build a Corvette to replicate it. FC is running the Mass Effect expedition to earn... Oh, the Normandy SR-1. That's cool. They were just spare parts. Yeah, pretty much. Alright. Nine. Can I put it? Yes. Oh, this room is just so goofy. I throw attention to detail out the window, and I'm just running with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh wait. Really? You serious? Wait a minute. Oh no. Yeah, I could bump them back, I think. Yeah, I could definitely bump them back. Here we go. Oh, oops. Because, with these engines, large engines, to my knowledge, have a 7-block max damage range. So if it's above 7, you're fine. And that's the idea with this room, is that these engines are spaced out just enough to where they won't damage each other when the ship is thrusting. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Chin scratching. You know, despite how bad Bungie is, I do genuinely like playing Destiny 2 every now and then. Which is a shame, because I know for a fact that when Bungie... No. Yep, no cooking. Yes. But, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2 lately. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I just like collecting the guns. I'm pretty sure I'm going to run out of stuff to do when I eventually collect all the guns I want, but still. What would make Destiny 2 really nice is if they made it to where all of the past DLC, story missions, whatever, were available to play. But I know for a fact they will never do that. because we gotta keep moving forward. And the Mars DLC story stuff doesn't exist anymore because they deleted it for some reason. Wow. And that's why they're being sued, because this one, that lawsuit is so funny. And I find that so funny. There's a person out there who's suing Bungie for copyright because they claim that this story that they've written is, well, has been basically stolen from them by Bungie. And the funny thing is, most likely this is all just hooey and they're just saying it just to say it. But the funny thing is, Bungie can't prove them wrong because they don't have that DLC available anymore to present as evidence. And because they can't present it as evidence, they're up shit creek, and it's so funny. It's like, you did this to yourself, Bungie. Ooh. Ooh. Oops. This engine is not properly placed. I don't know if I'm surprised or not that they don't keep archives of game code. Yeah, you would think. Like, just in case something happened or whatever. But... am I wrong? Oh no. Oh! This is wrong. Yes, this is wrong. Oh no. E. Is it at least adequate distance? 1, 2, 7, no. Curses. It's okay. We'll just fix this. No, but yeah, the lawsuit I think is still ongoing, and it's just so funny because they can't prove this person wrong because they don't have the DLC or story anymore because they deleted it and they don't have an archive. I mean, there's a saying, you reap what you sow, and Bungie, you're definitely reaping. And I know for a fact, when Bungie inevitably goes under, Destiny's going to be completely gone. Like, bye-bye. No more Destiny. It doesn't exist anymore. Because that game is not going to be offline capable. Because it's an online-only game. Hooray! But, what can you do? Alright. So, I think I'm done with the internal thrusters, I think. I don't know. I'll just connect these. More connections means more redundant lines to fall back to when damage inevitably occurs on your ship. What's in the original source code for Kingdom Hearts Lost necessitating be rebuilt from the ground up for the HD? Maybe? I'm not familiar with the whole Kingdom Hearts thing, but it wouldn't surprise me. And I could always keep adding more length to this room. I have a little turret here. but I think I'll try a different style of turret. These hulls are very bright because I have staggering lights. Just a bypass hallway that goes all around the internal rooms of the ship. Reactor room. I wonder if it's sufficient enough reactor power. That's just always my concern. And then we got hydrogen tanks all across the way. This would be like a nice juicy spot to shoot for this ship. Dingy dark spaceship, yeah. I'm trying to be not stingy with the lighting. There was this game called Interstellar Rift where it's a shipbuilding game, and it was like Sims meets Space Engineers. It was really cool. It's still around, I think, but the game's development is dead in the water. The devs don't care about the game no more, but it was fun. But man, was it not well optimized. And my ships were always dark and dingy because no interior lights. Because interior lights add a lot of computer impact. Yeah, so this is just the internals of the ship I have so far. Little auxiliary medical bay. This is the crew deck, but I don't know where to put some things. The only real room I have built is the mess hall. I mean, despite how large this ship is, this ship that you created is a maze. But it's a ship. It's very linear, so it's not really hard to get lost. Just go to one of the main corridors and just walk down the way. Yeah, bathrooms. That's... Ooh, I did not like that clipping camera. Hey, at least the ship has bathrooms. And you get cryo tubes. Yeah, despite how big this ship is, it's not really meant to have a lot of crew, as one would probably assume. And that's because the majority of the ship's size is to the orbs of light. Yeah. The majority of the ship's size is attributed to the just sheer armor that I'm trying to slap onto it. Here, I'm gonna load some of my past. Here, save it really quick. Here, let's see if I could... Nope, that's screenshot. F10, there it is. Where's the smaller ship? These are old. For E, I think the E is the newer version. Copy to clipboard. This is the smallest and one of the older ships I built. I'll just put it over here to the side for reference. And then the recent yet large ship. Copy to clipboard. Oh, of course, it's... Trying to make it look pretty. Like, little dingy Corvette, dingy little Corvette. I would even call this a Corvette. This is more of a Corvette. This is more like a gunship, I guess. It's old and outdated, so the looks are a bit off. As in, this is like the old build style. Where is the entrance? I always forget. There it is. It's in the front. Yeah, I wanted to have cameras with screens to cameras, but apparently that wasn't a thing, so this room is all for naught. Design over function. Exactly. Well, not really. It's the other way around. It's function over design, but because I thought these things would add a little bit of protection to the cockpit. Yeah, these are very old, like post-2020 designs. Because it's been a long while since I last played Space Engineers. But this is one of the most successful builds that I did. That I'm like very happy with. Oh, that's the lower auxiliary control room. And I've tested it. This ship, well, this ship is vanilla, so it works in vanilla games. And I have tested this. This thing is very effective in against PvE NPC targets. What function leads to heavy armor bricks? Yes. Well, if it was function over design, it would be all light armor and yeah, it would be made out of light armor and much more powerful thrusters so that it's more nimble and agile and stuff. But like, these ships are nice, but I want to do better. That's the whole point. That's the whole goal for this other ship. I want it to be better. Alright, there we go. And also, I built the ship without any of the fancy DLCs. Alright. Trying to figure out what kind of rooms to put. Here, I'm gonna really quick make some boxes. There we go. Crew boxes. Compartments for crew compartments. Medical bay, I guess. A medical bay would be needed. It's certainly a like, this is a puzzle. It's think of it like medical near CIC. Yes. But like, think of it as you're building a puzzle, but you're also having to wing the design of it as well. You're designing a puzzle while also trying to assemble the puzzle that's not yet fully assembled. I just like how I've already switched to the heavy armor usage. Should I do a hangar bay? You know what? I think I might just keep adding more thrusters. You can never have too many thrusters. Just keep it. Keep going. More thrusters. More. Add the length out. Because what the function of the ship is everything designed or specialized in its role. The whole part, the goal for this ship is it's a warship. Specifically, it is a battle barge, battleship kind of thing. It's heavily armored, lots of guns, heavily armed, and whole point is to be a gun platform, mobile gun platform. There you go. I want it to be able to blap out things while things struggle to kill it. So, actually, it will have a hangar. Because hangars... Ships have to have hangars, frankly, in my opinion. Like, battle carrier, there you go. Battleship plus carrier. I like my ships to defy the preset rules of conventional ship design, if that makes sense. It's like, that's not a battleship. Yes, it is. Because it is. It's a battleship because I say it's a battleship. But it has a hangar, and it's self-sustaining, and has all this stuff that battleships usually won't have. Yeah, well, that's how I build my battleships. Here, I'm going to address this really quick. There. Not gonna lie, I'm very excited to see this thing come to fruition. I'm hoping to spend a lot of time on this. Uh-oh. 6, 7, alright. 6, 7. Okay. It's just a little bit forwards. Ooh. I did oopsie. So you gotta put welders? No, I'm not that, No, I'm not on top of that as much, if that makes sense. Because that would be really hard for me to achieve. Plus, I've had mixed experiences with welders. More thrusters. More. I want this thing to have pretty decent acceleration despite the size and mass. I want it to defy things. Because that's one of my goals, is for this ship to have a lot of redundancy. I mean, not going to have welders because I don't have that much patience, but it's going to have a lot of conveyor networks. Conveyor to, like, that's why I'm putting all these conveyor blocks around. So that way, when one line breaks, another line can pick up the slack or whatever. Because these things will work as long as there is a valid conveyor connection to the thing that it needs to be connected to. So, if you just mesh it up, it's all good. Wait a minute, is this the same? Oh. There we go. Okay, that works out. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. I'm just trying to make sure it's all good. Building and talking is very difficult. But if the core engine block is breached, I think loss of the ship will have gone too. Well, the core of the ship. Oh, you're talking about the reactor room? Oh no, I'm planning on having multiple reactor rooms and multiple reactors scattered across the ship. That's why there's these prototype reactors over there. I'm a person who likes a lot of excessive redundancy. It's very funny when things just don't stop working when people want it to stop working. So, essentially, if the main core is breached, there'll be auxiliary cores scattered across the ship that'll pick up the slack. At least I'm hoping for it. I'm gonna try. Alright. I'm gonna have to conduct an acceleration test to see what breaks and also to see if it's all up to snuff. I just do this. It's kind of hard looking at this. All the little orbs of glowing light. Because, engines themselves aren't explosive, aren't they? It's the hydrogen tanks and reactors that are explosive. I can't remember. Because, I want this ship. I mean, I could say I want this and that as much as I want, but it's the matter of delivery. But, when I get to finally building the end component, like the final, like, it's the back of the ship, the backpack, the real backpack. When I finally decide the final end length, and I add the engine cluster at the back, I wonder if that would be deceiving, if that would be a good means of deceiving people. You've got armor. Oh, wait, can I do it? I think I can. No. That's okay. Man, the game is having a hard time. It's starting to have a hard time with this ship, and I'm loving it. There we go. I'm not happy with that. It's not thick enough. I'm kind of half tempted about slicing off the good top of these thrusters and... Oh, you should see some of my other past projects. I had a supercarrier build one time, and right when I got done, right when I finished building the exterior and most of the interior, I built the shell. Everything is good, set and done. The guts are built. Everything is good to go. Then I started building the interior, the rooms, the corridors and stuff, filling out places for armor and stuff. The game kind of broke on me, literally, and let's just say things were no longer tangible. And I was falling through floors and various other things, and I was having not a good time. Alright, I don't want this thing to have a weak dorsal exposure thingy. I'm not happy. Not happy with the top. It's not sufficiently armored. So we're redoing it. We're doing it again. An idea: a ship made by combining several smaller ships via scaffold bridges. They share resources and allow the ships to scatter if attacked. You mean mining settlement from Immortal Engine? Cluster ships do sound cool. It's like a colony ship. There you go. It's like, think of a man-o-war jellyfish. It's a colony of organisms, but they form a single being. No, I want more armor. Ooh, I guess the dorsal. Not good enough. That's not good enough. Alright, so we are going to have to go for more length. More. Now, what's the thickness here? Out of curiosity. Is it as thick as I want it to be? Yes, it is. Alright, we're going to stick with that thickness. So yeah, we're going to have to go for length over height. Which is okay. Oi, oi, oi. All right. We could go for pure... You know what? Nah. We'll stick to our guns. Stick to the original... Here, we are going to run some conveyors. 7 length. The meticulous process. Yeah, I do like how I just threw the whole, like, thing of a different thrust direction. Oh, don't worry. I'll cover the different thrust directions at some point. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the butt, though. Do I have room somewhere? Maybe I might have. Widen this room out by 1 layer. I have to make it work with this. Ooh, that's insufficient. My walls! I deleted it by accident. You know what? Yes. I will move these tanks off to the side by 1. Ooh, that's not going to be great when those tanks get hit and they explode. It's going to blow out the floor. We need the space, though. Oh. Oof. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. This will work. They're not in range to damage the other thrusters. Oh, wait. What's this? Ooh, but they're in range of damaging the conveyor belts. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Guess I'll get rid of this line of conveyors. We'll just get rid of these for now. It was nice chatting with you too. Goodbye. Have a good day. Hope you enjoyed the stream. I'm trying to do more streams often, like every weekend or whatever. And it's like usually around like 6 or 7 Central Time-ish or whatever. Oh. 5. Dang. The idea... It was a decent idea. No Discord. No nothing. I'm just gonna get rid of these thrusters. And just figure something out. I'll re-add this line. Well, the 4 section will also have a engine room similar to this, so I can pad out the length as well. So it's going to have forward thrusters and backward thrusters, and I'm trying to figure out a way to mix those thrusters together, because it needs 7 block length. Well, I'll get back to it later. I want to do some frontal work. You know what? Here, hang on. I'm going to copy this. This is probably not going to be very good for the game. Coming together, though, slowly but surely. This is going to be like a multi-week project. And giving just looking at it, I would say this thing is roughly 25% done. All right. I'm slapping this down because I want to conduct a test. This is a very bad idea, I know, but I want to do it for the funsies. I want to see how the ship holds up to a beefy ship being rammed. So far, endure the bad frame rate for now. We're gonna take this ship and fly it into the not yet completed ship. This is for science. Ooh, we should probably do it from the side. I'm going to do it from the side because it's the thickest. And also, I don't want it to drift into the main build. Nothing bad ever happened when Force Signs is yelled. Exactly. We need more distance. I want maximum speed. Alright, let's hope I didn't flub this and will actually hit the ship. Alright, side-on collision test. Come on, more speed. What's the speed? Use spectator for camera. I don't know how to do spectator view. Oh, the music's surprisingly fitting. Incoming! Dampeners off! Collision impact! Oh! Oh! Ooh, listen to that. Ooh. Uh-oh, I'm being tossed around. Uh-oh. The game is so unhappy. I think it's rejecting the ship. F8? Oh. Look, there it goes. Oh, that's right, the dampeners are off. I need to pop down a quick little... Hello? Not... Oops, I'm pushing buttons. It's not working. I'll just have to manually do it. Alright, we're slowly slowing down. Oh. Scene too complex. Too many blocks. Block limits disabled. Scene too complex. That sounds like quitter talk. Alright, it's slowly slowing down. And I think we're still attached to the ship. Alright, we'll just try and find our way out. There we go. There we go. Alright, let's see the damage. Look at that. Alright. Alright, so technically it should... We should see it somewhere. There it is. Now, it was the other ship, thankfully, because we wouldn't have been able to slow down. Oh, hey! The fuel room is intact. It doesn't look like we have any breaches, because if we did, we would see more damage. And I think that fire is the, from the other ship. So, I think this ship is survivable enough. I mean, it was able to absorb the full-on collision of a giant, also heavily armored ship. I don't know, what do y'all think? I think the crash test was a success. I mean... The corridor isn't breached. Here, let's check the spaced armor area. Certainly some damage here. Gyroscopes have been damaged and destroyed. Oh. There is definitely some merging going on. Yeah, blocks are clipping into each other here. Here, let's try and pull the ship out, I guess. Okay, we've fused to the side of the ship. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I was hoping I could just pull the ship out, but I'm gonna have to. Alright, here we go. So, that was from the other ship. Alright, damage analysis. It punched into here and blew out some of the hydrogen tanks. A hydrogen tank. Damaged some batteries. And then let's see what's behind here. Yep. It's all still good. We still had a lot of layers to go through. Let's just get rid of that. Further analysis. Yeah. So I think the survivability test was a success. Alright, let's try the other ship. Its name should be the Onion. The Onion Mark II. Oh, hey. now that the ship, well, the test ship is finally out from over the main build, we could do a top-down collision. Less layers, I think. Trademark. This is one of my favorite small ships that I've ever built. Top-down collision test. Where is it? Oh, there it is. All right, we're going right down the top. Full speed! Let's see how this goes. I would think because it's a lot slimmer and smaller, I don't know, I think it's going to get completely annihilated, but we'll see. Ooh. Increase altitude. Whoa, bam! Wow, it didn't even punch through. It just blew out the cockpit. It blew out the bridge and made a small crater. Well, there she goes. You know what? I got an idea. Going to test something out. I can't switch my things. Man, I hope this is aligned. It's not aligned. I could use a, I'll use this to align it. There, just a battery. All right. Oh yeah, that's right. I can't use those buttons no more for some reason. Decoy? No, we're doing something different. Artificial mass. artificial mass, and gravity gen. I'll also need a gyroscope. I wonder if those are good. Alright, it's been aimed. I should probably calibrate these things before I slap on a grav gen. Alright, grav gen. Can I keep up? Oh, yes. Yes, I can. Alright, I'm sending a rod of God into the ship. Hopefully this does something. And I missed. Or did I? I don't know. No, I think I missed. It's gonna hit a soft spot. Oh, oh. Oh, well, it got destroyed. Ooh, it's moving the ship. Wow, look at all that penetration. Well, there's a lot of penetration because this is all interior and light armor, so I would expect it. Alright. Alright, time to delete these things. Back to the ship. Alright, so I would say the damage tests are adequate. Alright, but I think that's all I got for now. I might pick this up later or sometime tomorrow. Same time, like around 6 or 7 Central Time, AM in the morning. So I'm going to end the stream here, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and y'all have a good one. Thank you for watching, and bye-bye.